Hi, good morning. This is Ms. Vasquez, and I wanted to show you a new app that I found, and it's called Telling Time. So as you can see, it is down at the bottom row, the farthest to the right, and it's got a little line space clock, and it's free. So let me show you how it looks. When you open the app, you're going to see this home screen. So from here, your students can start playing right away. They can change the settings from level 1 to level 2. They have an aquarium, which is where they collect their rewards for getting things correct. And then you can actually have the students change the clock too. So if they don't want the lion's face, they can switch to a basic looking clock and they can practice with that. So let me show you how they would start. You're going to go ahead and have them click on play and they're going to get this screen. And I would recommend starting with set the time. This works kind of like those clocks that we have in the classroom, but this is a digital version of it. What I like about it is that it's audio, and so there's someone actually telling them set the time to 4 o'clock, and as they're moving the minute or the hour hands around, the person is also telling them what time they're indicating. So if they have it like this, the audio will say 2 o'clock, and then right away they can say, well, you know what, that's not correct, so let me continue on. And then here the audio will say 3 o'clock. So the audio kind of gives them, it kind of scaffolds them because it's telling them what time that they're actually indicating. And so if the student's listening to that, then they can go ahead and make their correction before they even submit their answer. So right here, we're going to show 4 o'clock and we're going to be ready to solve. So when the student is ready, they're going to click solve. And as you can see, now they have one correct. So you'll see at the top screen how many they have correct and how many they have incorrect. Another cool thing is if you notice there's a little window down there right underneath the time where it says set time to 10, and it shows that it's nighttime. So here the student will say, okay, I'm showing 10 p.m. So as you can see here, when you're moving the hour hand or the minute hand, the other hand is also moving. So it's kind of neat because it shows students how they both move as they're approaching a new hour. So here I'm going to show 10 o'clock. Okay, and I'm gonna show 10 o'clock like that. Okay, now I'm gonna solve this one, but as you can see, it's incorrect. So I have one wrong, and I'm not allowed to go on to the next question until I actually fix this. So that's really neat because the student has to go back and make that correction. So here, 10 o'clock and solve. Now, I also wanted to show you here how to change levels. So level 1, which is what you're seeing here, is only going to show students or give them practice to the hour. So like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. But if you want them to practice the half hours, then you're going to have to go back and change the setting. Now, it's kind of hard for the teacher to be doing that for the students. So what I would suggest is that you actually teach your kids how to go in and change the level. So, and it's pretty easy. We're going to go back to the home page. And right underneath the lamp, you're going to see the settings button. So you're going to click on settings, and then you're going to have your students read this part. So it says to continue, swipe right with 2 fingers. So we just practice with them. When I did this with a group of students, we practiced and they got it right away. So with their 2 fingers, they're going to swipe to the right. Okay. And as you saw there, if they don't get it right the first time, it'll change the direction. So the second time it said swipe up. So right here, as you can see, this is the settings. You can change the language. So if you have a Spanish speaker, you can have them practice it in Spanish. Right here, difficulty levels. This is where we're going to switch the settings. So from level 1, as you can see, it had 1 hour intervals. Level 2 will then give them 30-minute intervals. So I'm going to go ahead and check off level 2. I'm going to go back to settings and then I'm going to hit done. All right, so now we're ready for level 2. So we're going to go back into play, set the time, and again, the narrator will tell you set the time to 7:30, or she might say like 7:30. So again, I'm going to change my time. So there's 7 o'clock, and of course it'll say 7 o'clock. So in other words, to get to 7:30, I would instruct my kiddos to drag their hand, and they're also going to be looking at that hour hand moving toward the 8. So as you're at 7:30, you also see that the hour hand is between 7 and 8. So I like that feature. That's pretty neat because it moves on its own. So again, once you're done, then you're going to go ahead and click on solve to get that answer correct. So I'm just going to answer a few more so that way you can see what happens when they've answered several of them correctly. Okay, so I'm showing 4 o'clock, and I can see that I'm switching between day and night time. And I always have my students practice doing this. I have them practice doing this clockwise instead of doing it counterclockwise. Sometimes the student wants to drag it backwards, but I remind them that the clock goes in one direction, so I want to make sure that that they also practice clockwise. All right. So as you can see, as I'm answering more questions correctly, I'm getting more stars. This one's already there. Perfect. Sometimes it'll land already on 5 o'clock or the answer that it's looking for. So that's neat because the student will, like, it'll kind of trick them and they'll have to say like, okay, well, that it's already there. So then from there they can answer correctly. All right, so great. We made it to the prize station. And as you can see here, you've got some fish swimming in the aquarium. So the student will just look for the fish that they like and the one that they want to add to their aquarium. So here they have a choice between two fish, and it looks like a little rock set up with some, I don't know, like coral or something. So I'm just going to choose the one that I like, and then that fish is theirs, and they can feed their fish by dragging over the little food from the left. And as you can see, those fish really go for the food. As you can see here, the lights go up and down, and you can adjust the shades on here. So that's also very helpful. And over here on the right, it'll tell them how many questions they got correct. So 6 out of 50 so far. So there's a lot of practice with this. Then when they're done, I encourage them not to stay there too long feeding the fish. Then they can go back and they can move up, continue to practice more. Okay, if there's ever any question as to what they need to do during a certain part of the app, you can click on the little question button, and you can actually see here that it'll explain to you what it is that they want the student to do. Another thing is that you can also change the audio. So down here at the bottom, you're going to see a little note, a musical note. So that's one song. Song 2 is a different type of song. And then if you don't want any audio, you can have your students just mute it right there. So it'll have a little X. So anyways, I hope you all like it. This was interactive telling time, and it's really fun. And I think it's a little bit more engaging than the clocks that we have in the classroom. Not only that, but it will also tell students, it'll give them that feedback. It'll let them know when they're right. It'll let them know when they're wrong. And if they're wrong, it'll give them an opportunity to correct their response and actually, fix their mistake and get it correct the next time around before moving on to another question. So, anyways, check it out. Check it out. I think it's really nice. It's fun, and it'll make your time lesson a little bit more interesting for the little ones. Thank you so much, and I hope you all download it and use it with your kiddos.